Hello everyone and welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast. As you all probably saw on any social that I put up the announcement, I apologize for the delay of like 15 minutes or so to the usual start time of these types of post games because I unironically sent a glass bottle to the depths of hell, celebrating. I'm pretty sure it was Nigel's three. I just threw my arms like this, and the back of my gigantic fist just hits the bottle and launches it. So, as you all can imagine, uh, it was quite a clear, but worth it, dare I say, worth the celebrations, and since everything's fine, and it was just a clear up, it's all worth it. I will get right into it in saying that I am always so happy when I get proven right in being so immensely and incredibly proud of this team. I am always so happy when I get proven right in that this team is honestly so unbeatable when healthy. And I am especially the happiest when I get proven right in saying that this team can overcome any deficit when at its best. And I say just the doubters, especially from our side, which I've complained about countless times and I will again. Especially when I say those doubters like peek out of their holes for minimal amounts of time and then just peek back in and shut their mouths when eventually this team does what it does best and wins the goddamn game. Of course, beating Real by 6 today, it was arguably common logic that Real would react to the last game when they were out of it completely. Our rash decisions, our misses, and our lackluster defense surely didn't help, especially that god awful, because let's not lie to ourselves. We said to not demolish what this team does, not avoid criticizing it. That first quarter was something, honestly. I'm pretty sure we were 8% from three at some point, which is insane to even utter out loud, but it's the best thing to say that when you eventually get to a point in a game where your shooting is so bad and you are in utter disarray, honestly, if that makes sense, you can take a step back, switch things up, and you have the depth to do that, to sit down and switch things up, take a step back, restructure your game plan, and eventually, eventually look back around and come back, break the deficit, and take the lead and win the game. The main issue that this team had today is the main issue that this team has had for a while. It just got worse today, especially uh, in that first quarter. Is the free throws for a start. Christ, the free throws truly were something today. Let me actually pull up the stat. It is 72 as a whole, but I'm pretty sure it was god awful at some point. Yet it was 6 out of 11 in the first, It was 7 out of 10 in the second, and it was 7 out of 8 in the third. Okay, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad today. Maybe the issue that needs to be tackled is the other thing more. But still, you can't excuse some free throw misses because I'm pretty sure everyone missed at least one. I'm pretty sure that we went 1 out of 4 free throws in back-to-back attacks at some point. And even if it wasn't the biggest issue today, as I mistakenly honestly thought, it was certainly and has been an issue for a while, and it's an issue that we need to fix up. Now, the issue of today, the biggest issue of today, which I thought was the second biggest, but it apparently was the biggest, is the goddamn threes. The 3 pointers, Lord above. 9 out of 32. It wasn't always just pure misses, of course. Can't always just be misses. But it was bad shot selection as well. And I don't know that this may sound a bit delusional, but I think that bad shot selection, constant bad shot selection, is arguably worse than just missing shots. Because if you have bad shooting night, you'll bounce back. But if we kept taking, which we thank God we didn't, if we kept taking those rushed shots, those rushed decisions that I'm not even gonna pinpoint anyone specifically because everyone did at some point. But if we kept taking those rash decisions that we took, especially in that first quarter, we'd have lost the game. It's why I said that it's such an honor, honestly, such a joy that we can sit here and say that we won a game when we were down. I'm pretty sure Madrid's biggest lead was 11 or 13. I can't recall right now. The biggest lead was either 11 or 13. And we came back and won this, dare I say, relatively comfortably in the fourth. And there is many reasons that we did. As I said, it was the completely restructured planning. It was the defense finally clicking. This is a thing that I've been talking about throughout, I think, the entirety of the regular season. That this team has a specific pillar, has a pillar that stands the tallest, and that, of course, is the defense. Because as I said on Twitter, and as I've said many times, mainly on Twitter, where my live comments and live thoughts on the game are almost in every game. When this team plays concentrated, communicative, and planned defense, no matter who the opponent is, the offense that we are facing is in disarray. We saw that a bit in the start of the second quarter. Then the game just got a bit out of our hands again. Then we saw that again in the start of the third quarter, because in the start of the second half we came in the game a lot stronger than we exited the game. Even though I can recall, well, the second half of the second quarter was just a glimpse on how much better the second half would have been, but as a majority, the first half was bad. We can't say that the first half was bad as a majority, but especially at the start of that third, because as I said, that second was so and so. The start of that third quarter and after just kept getting better and better. We got into the game with a passion that we all know and love from almost everyone, and just slowly the work at the back slowly but surely helped us cut the lead bit by bit up until eventually, of course, game tied at half point, and then it helped the offensive end as the defense kept getting better and better up until the end where we got to the top of the top, like we are used to, of course. It helped us build that lead that we had. And it's so, so important, especially in this stage of the season where anyone gets criticized, where every single second of a game matters, as we saw, and where absolutely everyone is needed to be at the 1000% of the game. Just knowing that you can flip such an image, such a play image around, get your shit back together on the defensive end, central in complete disarray, and steal the game on offense. Because as I said last time out, if you haven't listened to the episodes, please go do so. Defense is the pillar of this team. Defense is the base of everything that surrounds this team. And offense is the absolute killing blow of this team. Offense is the killing blow because one beats the other, the base goes up and kill and builds up that final blow. Not kills, the offense kills the other team. It was such. It, this game was the definition of a game of two halves, honestly. This game was arguably the most roller coaster of emotion. If anyone that didn't know what experiencing an Olympiacos PC game is, this is one of the games that could evoke. I'm fighting back some yawns, I apologize. That could evoke the necessary feelings that can show what it means to watch and support this goddamn team. After those first general thoughts, I want to get into just, I want to open a parenthesis a bit, get into a bit of a different situation. And that situation, of course, is the news that came out early this morning, and that is that Philip Petrusev is going to more than likely leave the team on a permanent, as we all expected. Uh, Red Star are expected to make an offer to buy out the rights to Philip Petrusev. And as much of a quality player as Philip is, honestly, it's for the better. He didn't want to be here, and up until a point, if you don't want to play for Olympiacos, you shouldn't play for Olympiacos. The team is better off with people that don't want to be here, and the player is better off where he wants to be. It's a win-win, and I hope the deal goes through. Honestly, I really do, for the best of both parties. And again, before I get into game specifics, I want to talk about this. Do I think that with this win, Olympiacos has locked down a spot in the final four? Now I have to tread very carefully here because I don't want to jinx anything. I have said ever since the beginning of the season that Olympiacos is a team that will be in the final four no matter what. I have believed that the minimum that this team would achieve is the final four ever since the start. And I think it's the safest to say that I've been proven right. No, we haven't locked anything down because the job is not done. Nothing is locked down until the job is officially done. No matter in any sport, whether you take football, basketball, anything like that, any sport that is more than one game, whether that's the NBA playoffs, whether that's the Euroleague playoffs, whether that's two-leg games in football, whether that's whatever you want. Up until the job is done, up until the time is done in both games, the job isn't done. To steal a quote from a player I admire so much personally, of course, it's that iconic Kobe interview that says that what's there to smile about? Job's not finished, and it's not. And that's the title of this episode, either way. Job may not be 100% done, but the job is 80% done. We avoided a break, and avoiding a break in the Euroleague is the most crucial thing you can do in the playoffs. And even, knock on wood, even if worst case scenario happens and we go there on uh, Tuesday, whenever our game is, I need to look that up because I don't remember when the game is, and lose the first game, we won't lose both games in Spain. So technically, yeah, I think that uh, we locked down our final four position. But honestly, I'd rather wait and see before I celebrate anything insanely. Hence the title. That's my main take on this. And the main thought on this whole thing is that there is three more wins until the Euro. There is three more wins until our fourth. And that's all that everyone should have in mind, honestly. I know that's all that the players have in mind, and I know that's all that the fans have in mind as well. This team can do this. It's gonna be much harder than a series, as it always is, and we've lived through the wars of Final Four experiences, and we've lived through the wars of heartbreaks. But as I've said many times in the past, when a puzzle that's failed because it's had like one or two missing pieces finally gets those missing pieces, you'll get incredibly beautiful and very successful results. And again, knock on wood, so I don't jinx anything. I think that's where this team is at right now. Just some steps before some beautiful, successful, and historic results. The first thing that I want to focus, game specifically, is Seth. Seth is getting better and better, and while Seth, of course, has been good in other times around the season, I think it's safe to say that this is the first time, or at least one of the handful of times this season that Chef was as perfect as it gets. The people were loud, the people roared when they needed to roar, and finally it it felt it really felt that the scary factor, if I can say it like that, of Chef is back. Not that it hasn't been. Let's not get that um let's not get that mistaken. Chef has been good. The reactions that Chef has gotten are overreactions for the most part. Sure, Chef has been lackluster in a lot of games, but we all have to remember that through the TV, where mics get shut and crowd noise gets lessened, especially by the certain company that we all know and hate that broadcasts Euroleague games, we can't always judge perfectly, let's say. So of course, Seth has been much better than us from the TV have seen, but again, that roaring feeling, I personally felt it for the first time this season today, and it honestly couldn't have come at a better time. From the absolute beginning, the Seth went insane in welcoming the team, and up until the end, it made sure to stay behind the team and urge them on to one of the most important victories of this season. I apologize for the constant yawning, everyone. I don't know why it's suddenly so tired, but yes, it's a huge round of applause to the people that were there today for making the red and white proud and reminding everyone that we're not here to just play. We're here to code them win, and we are, and we will always be one of the most fierce, one of the most feared fan bases in this whole whole competition. Now, as I very slowly will start getting into personal performances, I just want to say that I'm so honestly amazingly happy to see this team just where it has fought all the season to be and to finally be at a spot where we can be this confident about what's coming, and we can be this positive about what's coming, honestly. And as another parenthesis before I get into performances and stuff, whether you're listening now or after, of course, as in most solo shows, especially in basketball, where I am 99.9% solo, but I will start getting some of you on for these post games. I will put up a post in the socials afterwards to talk about if any of you are interested to join me once in a while for these post games. There is a link in the live chat. There is a StreamYard link in the live chat to to make that more specific. Where if you all take that link, you copy it, it will let you into this room or in every room whenever I am live. That link is in the chat, so you can join me and share your every opinion. Otherwise, of course, you can comment whatever you want, whatever you think, whatever you want to question, whatever you agree with and disagree with, and I'll respond to everything, whether it's here, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Twitter, or anything in the description. Now, I won't start with the performance that I would have started because I feel like there is a certain someone that deserves a lot of flowers for today. And that, of course, is the 24-minute 10, 6, and 3, accompanied by 3 steals as well, Nikola Milutinov. Our Serbian mountain. The Serbian that helped a lot, especially near the last few weeks of the regular, because of the deep form that was more than blatant. Uh, and I kept saying that a player of his quality will be more than needed in the playoffs. He always is, but especially at playoff season. And he needs to sit down with the presidents, with coach, and with the rest of the team, figure his shit out, and find that old Nicola that we all know and love. And it seems like he did. Once again, just storming onto the field after taking false plays and sending the Madrid defense and offense into a spiral of, how do I put this best? A spiral of miscommunication, of disorganization, of absolute chaos, however you may feel like, whatever you may want to describe it as. Milutinov was one of those crucial pieces today, and he's one of the few that took the team on his goddamn back, that along with the crowd urged the others to give it their all so we could get this season continuing, arguably, win. And honestly, there isn't a single complaint about Nicola today. I am not aware of who got MVP officially. If anyone could fill me in on that, that would be great. I wouldn't personally give it to Nicola because I would give it to one of the two others that took the team on their full on back. It wasn't just two, but for me, it's a main three that urged the others to just fight tooth and nail to turn the deficit that we were facing around and to get this win. But Nicola is definitely in the conversation for MVP today. Another man that just somehow, some goddamn way keeps getting better and better. And another man that we won't even get to see him at his absolute best. Not only maybe until next season, but even further, that's Saben Lee. That's the guard that we brought in, and everyone called him a pointless move. Everyone said that it would take him a while to get used to Bartzokas ball. Everyone said that what happens when him come back. Everyone said that he wouldn't have time, this and that. And God has he shut everyone up. Has he shut absolutely everyone up. 6-2-1 with a steal and a goddamn block of the century. Of course, those of you that watched the game No, which block I mean? The block that caught us all off guard, the block that I think every single one of us celebrated like madmen because God, who wouldn't celebrate that block? The only man that didn't celebrate that block like a madman was the man that made it. Everyone was celebrating insanely, and Lee was just that whole chill guy meme all over again. I'm just in awe of that block, and of course the conversion of the 2 points after you can't go without mentioning that. But I'm in absolute awe of that block, and I think my my celebration of that and my reaction for that block is a bit of a crazier reaction than how Bartzokas celebrated it. God, by the way, do I love Coach B and his celebrations and how he proves that he's not only one of the greatest coaches that this department of this amazing family has seen, but he's also, and he will always also be one of us. Uh, but yeah, a block that changed the game, accompanied by an amazing performance. And honestly, the two main highlights of the game for me are both release because it's not only the block, but if we rewind back a bit, if we rewind earlier, Saban got them Lee. Yes, he didn't make it, but he tried to dunk in the face of Walter Tavares. And that for me deserves a false out of its own. Of course, he drew a foul, but even the action of going to dunk in the face of Tavares shows that you are willing to leave your goddamn body on the court for this team. And that is honestly so much more than appreciated. Appreciated is such an understatement from Saban Lee. And the most exciting point for this player for me is what I said a bit ago and what many multiple people have said during not just this game but previous games in general that this player fits Bartzokas so much as a player and with a player for example like Thomas next to him which will get into Thomas Walker in a bit but with a player like Thomas next to him and if he just finds just that bit more, just the tiniest bit more of a more consistent steady shot, this player can be the top of top guards, if not the top guard in the Euroleague in the very near future. And the fact that the same league that we are getting is arguably the same league at like 50% is one of the most exciting statements you can make for this also very exciting. A walking highlight reel, as I've called Sack before, it fits Lee so well. And another thing that you just can't go without pointing out regarding, of course, Saban Lee is his explosiveness, the drives that Lee has. We've talked about this before, and everyone has talked about this before. But the drives that Saban Lee has are second to none, and they rival. They are very close, if not just a bit better. They can certainly get better than Sachs. And same, also same in the biggest admirational ways possible of Saban Lee's coast to coast ability. because God damn, God damn. He was clutch today. He was everywhere today. He is one of the main reasons that the team earned themselves on, along with Nicola, and he's one of the main reasons on both ends, that we got this victory. I said we talk about him. Let's go then talk about him. The man that is back at 1,000%. Mr. Never showing in the start line, but always being in the run for MVP of the game. Thomas Walkup. 5 final passes, 6 assists in 15 minutes. Defensive monster. I think he alone forced a few. Uh, just he forced the ball out just fully at some point. And the thing about Lee's block, a parenthesis, Lee did not only pull off the best block of the game by a landslide, but he also retained possession. And it's a thing I've said before. I'll go back to Thomas in a bit. It's a thing I've said before. Lee has amazing basketball IQ. And that's also one of the things that I consider him to have the potential to be under Bartzokas, one of the best guards in this whole Euroleague. But yeah, back to Thomas Moka, forcing more than a few turnovers. I'm pretty sure he forced like 5 or 6 different turnovers on his own. Had Hezonja on smoke, had Hezonja in his pocket, forcing mistakes left, right, and center. And arguably, he is the main guy that just kick-started that defense again and just helped not only start to cut this lead, but build the difference as well. Just another one of the main reasons that Real got sent into absolute madness up until a point when couldn't score a single basket. And honestly, back at 100 and 30, 40, 50%, say whatever you want, I'm just so glad. I am so incredibly glad that Thomas Walkup is back. Continuing his great performances is Luca Vildoza. Luca Vildoza, of course, not needed as much as he was last game. He got 10 minutes, but scored arguably one of, if not the most crucial three of the game. Of course, there were a lot of crucial threes coming from Fournier, of course, with the three with his insane celebration, of which the photo is the thumbnail of this episode itself. There were the Alec Peters threes, which we'll get into both of them in a bit. Vezenkov scored very crucial three. It was that Nigel Williams Goss three that made me break my goddamn bottle. But Lucas 3 is one of the soul baskets that were the nail in the coffin for Real's momentum and the final fuel of the rocket for our momentum. So you gotta give us out to look at those as well. I talked about him and I'll get into him. Alec Peters. Alec Peters. God damn, what a player. Mr. Consistency, Mr. Clutch, Mr. Sixth Man. Honestly, you can say anything you want about this man anymore. He can do everything and he can do it perfectly. I've said it before, I'll say it again, whether he gets 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, he'll play so consistently good over the time he gets. He didn't get a lot of time today, he got 12, but within those 12 minutes, he managed to score some very crucial baskets and getting a 9-1 and 2 in helping us just clutch this so important win. Evan Fournier, the most confusing player of this game, in my opinion. I can name that he did some of the best plays and some of the most questionable plays at the same goddamn time. Taking the ball on his own when maybe sometimes he didn't need and losing it. I'm pretty sure there was two of his turnovers that turned into open layups for Real Madrid. But on the other hand, he managed to score again, similar to Lucas, one of the most crucial threes of the game. He may have had 3 out of 16 in field goals, but he did have 17, 5 and 2. In 32 minutes, him and Sasa carried the biggest burden of this game, and while Sasa was definitely, of course, Ivan had 3 steals as well, I just had to confirm that. While Sasa was definitely the better man this game, it's no doubt that play of Fournier is right here. He's feeling the crowd, he's feeling the team, he's feeling the importance, and the, the fact that his quality is a massive factor that needs to show. And honestly, part of the mistakes he made, you can't have any complaints about the 17, 5 and 2 in 32 with the crucial help that he put in the back, with the crucial help he put in the ball movement, and with everything that he did, and the fact that you know that he'll be even more concentrated and better, you can't say anything about it. You really, truly, and honestly and utterly can't. And the last person that I want to get into, as I will slowly but surely start to close, because I am gonna, up until I get on with my final thoughts and my final, of course, comments on specific performances, it will pass an hour probably on the show. And goddamn, time passes so fast when I do this. And honestly, I'm so eternally grateful to be able to do this for you all. And thank you once again for so much and for just allowing me to do this and all the insane things that come with it. But of course, I want to talk about Sasa. Sasa Vezenkov is a player that knows that when times get rough, that he may need to sometimes take the game upon himself, and we saw glimpses of that today. Of course, Sasa had 34 minutes, the most of everyone. He had 22, 7 and 2 with, let me make sure, no steals and no blocks. Okay, I remember correctly. He was crucial, arguably the most crucial in getting the team going, getting baskets out of nowhere, picking up some wilder balls and making them look like lobs, having some insane chemistry with Fall, having some insane chemistry with Saban Lee, and honestly showing us who Sasa Vezenkov is, and that's what the stadium chanted again, and that's what I've defended multiple times on and on, and that's that he's the true MVP, and that will show very, very soon. Of course, next game, next game is way more stress free if that makes sense. And as I said, job may not be 100% done, but it's for damn sure 80% done. The next game is on the 29th at 10 Greek time. And honestly, I think we'll do it. I don't want to be overconfident here because this is Real Madrid after all. But I think we'll do it. I think we'll sweep them. And I think we'll have just that extra bit of an air of confidence. Not arrogance, confidence. The needed thing heading into the final four. But we'll see. Let's talk for when the time comes and when the hopefully celebrations come. That's about it on me for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Do go check out when you want to, if you haven't already, the previous episode. Go check out the interview that I've been posting clips of with Harry from 307 International. It was arguably one of my favorite episodes that I've recorded yet in general. Some stories that I will always keep in my mind and some that I think you all would love too. I've had some issues with Spotify as I've reported. That's why the last episode hasn't gone up and I don't know if I will be able to get it up. But this one should go up normally. I am trying to get in contact with YouTube to get the last one up as well, but God has that been hard. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you all on Sunday. Sunday could very well be a double day. There is a massive chance, not a massive chance. There is a massive chance that it's going to be a double day. There is the second interview of this very busy, very big week with another guest I'm super excited about. And of course, if the post game show, if I don't post the post game show on Monday, the post game show for the actual Olympiacos game will happen Sunday night. That's about it. Thank you all so much for all your support. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. And I'll see you all in the next one.